This person has wanted you ever since you did something specific, something very specific. They're ready to admit it. So this could be somebody who's been crushing on you. Well, they've been having feelings for you for a while. Oh gosh. There was a specific moment Spirit is telling me, and I want to get into it. Something happened and they realized something. It was something that you said or did. It could have been the way that you looked at them. It could be too. Spirit is saying that like they saw you differently one day. You walked into the room looking like very good. Okay, you look different. Also, for some of you, you stood up for yourself or you advocated for somebody else and you showed them a part of you that they hadn't seen before. And for others of you, you made this person laugh like so hard. Like they've never laughed that hard before in their life. Something clicked. They fell in love with you harder. Ever since that moment, they've been wanting you 10 times as much. And I mean wanting you so much, big time. So let's get into it. Have you ever stopped to consider what actually happens inside someone's chest when they realize they are no longer in control of how much they feel? It does not feel like floating. It does not feel like the light, airy sweetness as people put on greeting cards or write into pop songs. It feels like a slow, quiet car crash. It feels like watching a glass slip from your fingers in slow motion, knowing the tile floor is right beneath it, knowing there is not a single thing you can do to change the trajectory, and simply standing there waiting for the sound of the shatter. That is the exact internal landscape of the person who has been quietly losing their mind over you. They did not want this. That is the first truth you have to understand if you want to make sense of why have been acting so strangely, why their eyes dart away when you look at them, and why every conversation you share feels like it is vibrating with attention neither of you has named. They didn't apply for this. They had a perfectly functional life before that one specific afternoon. They had their routines, their small comforts, their predictable circle of interactions where they knew exactly what was expected of them and exactly how much of themselves they had to give away to keep people happy. And then you did that one small, unrepeatable thing, and you broke the machine. Most people think attraction is built on desire. We assume that when someone falls hard, they are driven by the hunger to have, to hold, to touch, to claim. We look at someone who is lovesick and we say they want a partner, or they want romance, or they want the high that comes with being adored by someone beautiful. The terrifying truth is that we often hate the people we love the most, precisely because they show us how hollow our lives were before they walked in, That is the bitter hidden pill this person has been choking on. Before that turning point, before the moment you stood your ground, or laughed so hard your whole body shook, or looked at them with that piercing, unedited clarity, they were comfortable in their shallow water. They had convinced themselves that life was fine as long as it was manageable. They had negotiated a truce with their own loneliness. When you showed up and gave them a glimpse of something pure, uncalculated, and utterly real, you didn't just make them want you. You invalidated the entire artificial world they had built to keep themselves safe. You made them feel the cold. And human beings do not like realizing they have been freezing in the dark. It makes them angry at their own weakness. It makes them ashamed of how easily their defenses collapsed. And most of all, it fills them with a profound, quiet dread that they are about to be exposed as a fraud. This is the psychological angle that almost everyone misses when they are on the receiving end of an intense, unspoken crush. This person is not just afraid that you will reject them. They are paralyzed by the fear that you will accept them, step closer, and realize they have nothing of equal value to offer in return. Think about how you move through the world. You are not putting on a performance. When you are tired, you look tired. When something is absurd, you call it absurd. You don't hand out flattery like loose change, and you don't adjust the volume of your personality just to make insecure people comfortable in the room with you. You have an organic, unforced sovereignty. You occupy your own skin as if you actually own it. To someone who has spent their entire adult life curating an image, managing impressions, and editing their thoughts before speaking, your authenticity looks like sorcery. They look at your ease and they feel heavy. They look at your truth and they feel like an actor who has forgotten their lines in the middle of a live broadcast. So when they stand next to you, their awkwardness is not just basic shyness. It is the acute, agonizing symptom of emotional imposter syndrome. They think, if I tell them how I feel, and they actually look back at me, how long will it take before they realize I'm just an ordinary, messy, frightened person who got lucky enough to catch their eye? You have probably spent hours analyzing their mixed signals, entirely unaware that their hesitation was never about your worth, but their own profound sense of unworthiness. Look at the bizarre ways they have been behaving. Have you noticed how they occasionally bring up other people? How they casually mention someone asking them out, or make a flippant, half-joking comment about their own dating life while watching your face like a hawk. To you, it feels confusing. It might even feel a little cruel, like they are trying to keep you at arm's length or play games with your head. It is not a game. It is as desperate, clumsy plea for reassurance. When a person feels entirely outmatched by someone they adore, they do not have the confidence to say, "Do you want me?" The question is too direct. The potential silence that follows is too lethal, so they create a crisis out of thin air. They throw a manufactured third party into the conversation just to see if your pupils dilate. They mention another suitor just to see if the temperature of your voice drops by half an octave. They are fishing for proof that they matter to you, because their own internal narrative is constantly telling them that there is no possible way someone as grounded, sharp, and luminous as you could ever look at them with genuine hunger. Every casual comment about dating is just a coded message that reads, "Please tell me you care before I completely humiliate myself." And then there is the physical reality of the situation. Because no matter how much they try to intellectualize what is happening, no matter how many mental walls they build to convince themselves that this is just a temporary phase, the human body cannot lie about this level of devotion. When you walk into the room, their nervous system treats your presence like a change in atmospheric pressure. Their breathing becomes shallow. The muscles in their back tighten. They find themselves tracking the perimeter of the room, acutely aware of exactly how many feet of empty space exist between your shoulder and theirs. If you sit near them, they have to devote 80% of their conscious brain power simply to keeping their hands still. When your knee accidentally brushes theirs under a table, or when you reach past them to grab something and the faint scent of your skin hits them, it does not feel like a casual brush. It feels like an electrical surge that runs straight down their spine and pools in the bottom of their stomach. They have to clear their throat. They have to look at the floor. They have to bite the inside of their cheek just to keep from reaching out, taking your face in their hands and pressing their mouth against yours until all the questions, all the fear, and all the agonizing restraint are burned away in a single breath. The physical discipline required to stand 2 feet away from someone you are starving for and pretend you are just listening to a story about their commute is an exhausting, violent act of self-denial. They are living in the quiet hell of constant rehearsal. Every night before sleep finally takes them. They lie in the dark and stage conversations with you that will never happen. They imagine saying the true thing. They imagine walking up to you in the hallway, cutting off whatever polite sentence you were about to say and telling you plainly, I haven't had an uncorrupted thought since that day You have ruined my focus. You have ruined my sleep. And I am completely sick of pretending that you are just someone I know. In the dark, the words sound magnificent. In the dark, they feel brave. They feel the weight of their own passion. And for a few brief minutes, they believe they might actually do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow arrives. The morning light comes in. The world turns noisy, practical, and cold. They see you standing near the door, laughing with someone else, looking so completely whole, so effortless, so entirely unbroken by the world. And the bravery evaporates like mist. The words die in the back of their throat. They swallow them down, paste a casual smile onto their face, walk past you, and say, morning. And then they spend the rest of the day hating the sound of their own voice. The most dangerous moment in any unspoken love is when the secret stops being a source of pleasure and becomes a structural hazard to your sanity. That is where they are standing right now. You can see it if you look closely. Look at the fatigue around their eyes. Look at the way their humor has taken on a slightly desperate, frantic edge lately. Look at how they linger just a second too long before turning to walk away from you, as if every single departure feels like a small, unbearable defeat. They cannot maintain this posture much longer. A human heart is not designed to carry a furnace inside a cardboard box. Eventually, the heat burns through the container. Eventually, the exhaustion of maintaining the double life, the composed stranger on the outside and the devoted worshiper on the inside, becomes heavier than the fear of what you might say. When they tell the truth, they are reaching the point of a surrender. Not the surrender of weakness, but the surrender of a person who has run of alternative routes. They have tried ignoring it. They have tried laughing it off. They have tried convincing themselves. They have tried convincing themselves that you aren't that special. That it's just a passing infatuation. That they will wake up next week and the fever will be gone. The fever is not going anywhere. If anything, it is burning hotter with every passing day. Here is the deep, transformative realization that will redefine everything when this connection finally breaks open. You did not change this person's life by trying to save them, seduce them, or win them over. You change their life simply by refusing to be smaller than you are. In a world full of people who constantly compromise their truth to be digestible, you remained concentrated. You stayed sharp. You stayed gentle. You stayed completely yourself. And by simply existing with that level of integrity in their visual field, You held up a mirror that made it impossible for them to keep lying to themselves about what kind of life they want to live. You became the catalyst for their own awakening. They are not just falling in love with you. They are falling in love with the person they might become if they are brave enough to stand in the light with you. They want to be better. They want to be realer. They want to shed the superficial armor they have carried for decades and learn how to speak with the same raw, unpolished courage that you carry without even trying. So when the moment comes, and it is coming, moving toward you with the slow, heavy inevitability of an approaching storm, understand what you are about to witness. It will not be a polished you. Cinematic performance. There will be no smooth pickup lines, no charming posturing, no rehearsed charisma. When this person finally breaks their silence, they will likely look completely unraveled. Their hands might shake when they hand you a cup of coffee. Their voice might crack when they ask if they can speak to you alone for a minute. They might stumble over the simplest words. Contradict themselves. Look at the floor and look at you with eyes so full of naked, unprotected terror that it will take your breath away. Do not mock that clumsiness. Do not dismiss the messiness of their arrival. Recognize it for what it truly is. The sound of a human soul breaking out of a cage it lived in for years. You have spent so long, so warding, waiting for someone to match your depth that you forgot that depth is a terrifying place for anyone who hasn't learned how to swim. Be patient with them as they step into the water. They are crossing a vast dangerous distance just to stand in front of you and say the 3 or 4 words that will permanently destroy their safety net. They are choosing the risk of being completely devastated over the safe, comfortable numbness of their past. And when they finally look you in the eyes and hand you the truth of what has been happening in their heart since that fateful afternoon, do not look for perfection. Look for the courage. Look for the honesty, and remember that the only reason they had to fall so hard and break so completely is because they finally found something that was worth the crash.
Message on my heart that you have been somebody who has always held on for too long and loved too deeply for people who did not have the capacity to hold your love and definitely did not deserve to have you in their lives the way that you did. Yes, they needed to become activated by you. Yes, you were destined to cross paths with that person, but your journey was meant to end long before things got crazy and things got rough and pieces of you started falling away. You started being able to not recognize yourself anymore because you eventually became the person, the shadows of the person that you were connected to. I think that you need to realize how special your presence is, how much of a gift your presence is in order to walk through this world safely, in order to recognize that you are protected in everything that you do with everyone that you meet. Because your energy, you naturally become a mirror to somebody that you meet. You naturally take on both their shadow and their light. And some people don't like their shadow. Some people are not familiar with their shadow. Some people do not want to have a conversation with their shadow. And you are somebody who is so, it's literally your purpose. It is your gift in this world to be that reflection, to be able to see both the light and the dark. But if somebody can only see the light of themselves and they can't face the dark, they can't accept that there's parts of them that are needing attention, that are asking for forgiveness, that are asking for understanding, but they instead see that as a reflection of you instead of themselves. That is why so many connections, or that is why so many times the connections that you have been in have not come to the place that they were meant to, or come to the place that you thought that they would be going, because you naturally heal. You carry a healing energy. And because of that, you are able to see the picture, the image of a healed future, of a harmonious future, of a timeline that does exist, that is real, but takes the effort of anybody that you are connected to and you to co-create together. And if you have somebody who is not on the same page as you, they are an anchor. They are a dead weight. And I know that's not always the easiest to hear because you are somebody who genuinely just hopes the best for everybody. Like, you want to see people succeed. In fact, you probably still want any person that you've ever crossed paths with to succeed in life, because that is who you are. That is what your heart is. But not everybody is like you. And that is something that I feel like you really need to be able to understand, that not everybody is like you. You actually are special. You do actually have these gifts. You actually are chosen in a way that goes beyond what is considered normal. And yes, there's many people that are, but I think that's just as important, is being able to recognize that you will have community on the other side of recognizing your power. You will have community ready to support you on the other side of recognizing your light. You will have friendship. You will have intimacy at the level at which you are able to experience it and you are able to offer it. But now, God is asking you to be able to discern between who is actually a frequency, energetic match to you and the world that you are consciously bringing in for yourself, the reality, the dream life that you are calling in for yourself. Who is aligned with that and who is not? Because that is going to determine whether or not you get there. And what's coming through very strongly right now is that you are already on the way. You are already on that path. You are being reborn again and again. In fact, you are in an era of refinement. You get to choose who you are. You get to choose how you perceive yourself. And anybody who does not match that frequency has nothing to do with you. You are no longer allowing other people's opinions and perspectives and projections over you to be what you see yourself as. In fact, I see you just kind of like smiling, sitting in silence and smiling as somebody comes to their own conclusions about who you are. Little do they know they are actually just perceiving who they are and projecting it onto you. You are allowed to recognize that because you have done the work. You do know yourself on such a deep and intimate level. And so you are allowed to say, you know what? No, like, that is your shadow. That is who you are being right now. And I can't change that for you. All I can do is witness. So I have love for you, but that's as far as it goes. And I'm going to keep that love with me because I don't feel like my love is safe in your hands. That is the season of life that you are entering into, where you get to decide, you get to choose who has access to your love, who has access to your energy. And it is so important that you do. This next era of your life depends on it. So if you resonate with this message and you are ready to get to know yourself on such a deep and intimate level, you are ready to release the projections and fears that you've maybe carried your whole life or even just recently from past partners, and you are ready to truly embody your light and move through this world confidently in who you are, experience love confidently in who you are. I'm hosting a new moon guided ceremony, cosmic rebirth and divine inheritance. Comment I receive, and I will send you a link with all the details.